I'm Jill Aldape. I'm from Boise, Idaho, and my cultural heritage is Basque on both my mother and father's side. Standing here in front of the Basque Center, which is where I've spent a lot of time. I was a member of the Oinketi Basque dancers for 20 years. My wedding reception was here, as was many of those in my family. It's kind of a home away from home and one of my favorite places here in Boise, Idaho. So yes, generations of Basques have come to Idaho. Most of that was around the turn of the century when there were a lot of push factors, political, economic push factors that made people flee. And they came to the United States and Central and South America to find a better life or more opportunity. In Idaho, that happened to be sheep herding, and that was because people didn't have to speak the language, and they were hardworking and they could make a decent wage. Many of them actually thought they were going to come here, do a stint, make some money, and head back home. And many did that, and many stayed, which then built the communities, the Basque diaspora that we have here in Idaho. I guess I would say just people are extraordinarily kind here. I hear that from visitors all the time. I think my theories are that there's two reasons. One is that most of the communities within Idaho are relatively small and you can't get away with much unless you are very kind to others. And that we're close to nature here. We're around mountains and rivers, and it keeps us centered and grounded, and we can still see the stars. So I think that makes people good people and kind to each other. I think a lot of people think of Idaho as the Old West, cowboys and Indians. Basque people in particular, a lot of them have heard of Idaho. There have been lots of documentaries about the Basque culture here, the Basque community we have here on this block. And we have the annual San Ignacio Festival, which many will travel to participate in. We also have Aldape, which is the big Basque festival every 5 years. And we bring over performers, dance groups, musicians from the Basque country, and that I think has really grown the awareness of the Basque community here in Boise internationally. And folks from the Basque communities in California, Nevada, and throughout the United States, they'll come join us for that. So I think it's a surprise when people come here and they're like, wow, there is a Basque culture alive and well in Boise, Idaho. So I think many in the Basque country have heard of us, and when they get here, it usually is a pleasant surprise.